catch by Jay Nathaniel. Touchdown, Hurricanes!
Shooter taking a shot deep. Oh, they targeted! Got it. Her third. From left to right, sets off. Oh,
Down!
watch who's gonna step. He's gonna go for it. Fell from the sky into air icing.
All right, everybody, welcome in to Tallahassee, Florida. Sorry, a little technical difficulties to start off the game. Nate Murphy here along with Tony Papel as Florida State and Boise State both looking to avoid an 0-2 start in this one. And Banger on the first play of the game gets a quick reception stop on a scrimmage.
I think it's a great play real quick by that Florida State defense, getting involved early and not letting Topher Banger get any further down the field.
So Boise State starting this ball game out on their own 31-yard line. Foreman read option look, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Florida State's defense on the first two plays coming out strong.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nate. Scott Richley there with the tackle for loss. That's his third tackle for loss on the season. Had a big impact in week 1. Hoping to have another big impact here this week.
So now 3rd down and 14. Boise State in a hole here on their first drive. Foreman looking to throw. Time in the pocket, taking a shot deep. Has a man complete down the sideline to Reese Davis for 49 yards and a first down.
49 yards for Nerese Davis is right. She entered the game only needing 42 yards to become second in Boise history. And with that reception right there, takes that second place spot. Fantastic job by Davis and this Boise State offense moving down the field with one quick play.
Got it all in one shot, so congratulations, Nerese Davis, moving up the leaderboards for Boise State. Now Boise State looking to take advantage. Hit as he let it go, and Topher Foreman throws an incomplete pass.
Yeah, Debo Banks with the pressure there. The youngest of 5 siblings had 4 tackles last week and affected that play right there.
So Boise State back to the shotgun. 3 receivers top of the screen. Looking to throw. They're going to come bottoms, and Josiah Henry with the catch. Would have been better off to let that one go. He's going to lose 7.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good play there by that Florida State defense, attacking the receiver right there, not letting them get any further downfield. 3rd and long.
4 receivers in the formation for Boise State, and they're going to throw it here again. 3rd and long for the second time. And again, Nerese Davis complete, but this one good for only 7. Boise State going to have to kick a field goal here.
Yeah, 7's not going to cut it there. Rick Davis doing a good job of making that tackle and preventing them from getting the first down.
So Boise State had the big play on 3rd and long earlier in this drive, sets them up for this field goal. It is up and good. Jonah Henry kicks that one through. Boise State takes the opening possession. Tony drives it downfield, gets a field goal out of it.
Yeah, they do. You're exactly right. Nice job of bend, don't break defense from Florida State, but that's exactly what Boise State wants to do. March down the field, got a big play, and we're able to put points on the board.
And Vinny Trill and Al Shiesty both dropping 100 bits, getting close to a hype train. So let's get that rolling here in game 2 of this Monday evening. And now Florida State for the first time coming out, and they're going to take a shot first play, and Ravenhill overthrows everybody.
Yeah, just, maybe throwing that one away, putting it in a spot where only the receiver can get it. Now, his receiver couldn't get it either, but, at least it wasn't intercepted. He threw a lot of interceptions last week.
And again, going play action, taking a shot downfield, complete this time. And it's Junie Winter out of the backfield, the fullback for 17.
Fullback converted to tight end this season. Nate had 3 receptions for 29 yards last week. Getting a bunch here on that play. Great job getting the tight end involved early, marching down the field as well here for Florida State.
And Laser Beam J, our new follower tonight. We're up to 3,008 now, and we appreciate each and every one of you. And Florida State looking to drive the ball downfield and answer that Boise State field goal. And this one, again, thrown out of bounds. Ravenhill, early on, has to get his feet underneath him here.
Yeah, you're right. He does. Not quite sure what Tom Hendricks was doing there out of the backfield. Looks like he was running well into the opposing sideline, but maybe just got a little confused.
Lost where he was on the field, didn't realize he was going to the short side. And Ravenhill trying to get out of that, but unable to as he steps up, and Henry Pate III drops him in the backfield for a 3-yard sack.
Yeah, it just absolutely blows him up there. Pierce Parker couldn't make the play, but Henry Pate was right there. Nice job flying to the ball by this Boise State defense.
And as Frank and Chet says, group sack. Everybody was coming on that one. And now Florida State facing a 3rd and long. 3rd down and 13, ball on their own 42. Ravenhill looking, has time in the pocket. He's going to take a shot. Complete inside the 10, breaking a tackle. And into the end zone goes Pablo, touchdown for Pablo Thompson, geez, for a Florida State touchdown, as I can get my words out of here.
Might as well call it Pablo touchdown. Oh my goodness, it's his first touchdown on the season, but had a huge game last week with 142 yards. Big play there for Florida State. Great touchdown marching down the field.
Well, they answered the field goal with a touchdown. That's exactly what you want to do if you're Florida State. And Tony, we didn't get a chance to talk in the open, but both teams coming here 0-1, looking to avoid the 0-2 start. It doesn't necessarily end any national title hopes, but starting 0-2 would really make the road ahead a lot tougher.
Yeah, it would make it a lot tougher, Nate. You're absolutely right, especially to get one of those coveted top 6 spots in the postseason tournament. You know, both teams are looking to improve on their performances from week 1, and I'm sure we're in for a great one here tonight.
And Florida State was certainly disappointed in the way they played in week 1. Boise State dropped a close one on a late field goal against Kentucky. Looking to come out here now down 4. And this one goes right up the middle. It's Henry picking up 4, shrugging off a defender. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Henry only had 27 yards on the ground last week. Looking to have more of a Boise State's going to have to try and establish the run more. As you can see, Ginger, Matt, and Chat's already picking up the Pablo touchdown reference. Nate, you're causing nicknames left and right here.
Well, if I'm good for something, it's, screwing something up. At least that one turned into a little bit of gold. Ron Johnson picks up a 1st down on his first catch of the night, and Boise State looking to answer.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Only 8 yards last week for Ron Johnson. 2 receptions. Already has 1 for a bit more, picking up that 1st down. Great play by Boise State.
4 in the formation again, and Foreman going to take off. He's got some open grass in front of him before he's finally hit down hard as he was run over by Maverick Rivers, but it's a gain of nearly 10. It'll be 2nd and short.
Maverick Rivers had a fantastic game last week. It's 14th in tackles. That's tied, or has 14 tackles, tied for 3rd in the league, and 3 tackles for losses, tied for 9th. Maverick Rivers is going to have a huge game in order to stop this Boise State rushing attack.
All right, as we saw Vinny Trill drop some subs in chat, and Josiah Henry picks up a 1st down. We've also got a prediction coming up. I know a lot of you guys are getting close to some archetype type points here, so put your points where your mouth is. Who wins this ball game, Florida State or Boise State? 5 minutes to go, and Foreman looking to make a case for Boise State right here. He's inside the 15, down at the 10-yard line, 36-yard pickup for the quarterback.
Yeah, fantastic rush there. Also looked like great blocking from Ron Johnson. I think he had 2 different pancakes on that play. Maybe those were just offensive linemen. Fantastic job utilizing those blocks by Foreman and moving down the field. Great job by that Orchard Park, New York native.
We have seen the read option, especially early on this season, cause some problems for defenses. Foreman showing he can run it as well. Maybe a little bit out of breath here. They're going to ask him to throw it on 1st down. This one is complete out to Ron Johnson. Only good for a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Johnson can block and he can catch passes. Calling for that one right there, it looks like. Just couldn't break that tackle. Nice job stopping him short before he could pick up any more yards.
It looked like Debo Banks flying over there from his outside linebacker position to make the tackle there. So they're calling it 2nd and 9. Ball's on the 9, so we might as well just call it 2nd and goal to go. 4 receiver formation, 3 to the top of the screen. Play fake. Foreman going to come near side, but throws it away. Good coverage by Florida State.
Yeah, fantastic coverage, right? Just throws that souvenir away. Looked like he might have been trying to get Riley Ruri out in the flats, but the coverage is just too good and had to throw it away.
Now bringing in a couple of tight ends for this play. 3rd down and 9. They bring one to the top of the screen, and they're going to throw for it. Pressure coming, and they will get home. Foreman goes down around the 20-yard line. That is Harry Barnes with the sack.
Harry Barnes getting a great sack there. That's his first sack on the season. Congratulations for Harry Barnes there. The running back did a good job of picking up that first defensive lineman in the backfield, but just could not stop everybody. Scott Richley in the backfield there too. Great swarming defense by that defensive line, keeping Foreman contained in the pocket and getting that sack.
So another good drive from Boise State with a big play involved that's going to wind up only netting 3 points, as Henry again up and good. He's 2 of 2 on the night. And let's keep an eye on that. Boise State last week, their defense gave up 5 field goals, only gave up 1 touchdown, still wound up losing that game by a couple of points. So every little bit is going to matter. Now Ryan Ravenhill and this offense about to come back out as this one returned out to the 19. Florida State put a great drive together to start things out. Tony, how do they do it again?
Well, they kind of lived on that big play to Pablo touchdown. I'm just going to keep calling him that. So maybe let's see if they can get a more sustained drive this time down the field instead of living and dying by that big play.
And they're going to look for a play here, and this one thrown away. And again, looked like he was looking to take a shot downfield was Ravenhill. Good coverage on the back end from Boise State.
Yeah, good coverage is exactly right. You made an interesting point, Nate. You said that bend don't break defense by Florida State, not letting Boise State score that touchdown. They didn't score a single touchdown inside the red zone last week and are 0 for 2 on trips this week as well.
Boise State's going to need to fix that as things go along, especially in this one. Blake Elder, a catch, good for 7, and it brings up a short 3rd down and 3. Very manageable here for Florida State.
Yeah, very manageable is right. Blake Elder moving from halfback to wide receiver. Had a nice game last week, 71 yards, 1 touchdown on 3 receptions. They're going to utilize him a lot. He was, their 2nd leading receiver last week. Expect to see a lot more of him this week as well.
So now empty set, 5 wide, only needing 3 yards. They're going to get that and more. Pablo Thompson not going to get a touchdown on this one, but does get 8 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, without a touchdown, though, we might have to take away the nickname unless he has more touchdowns than receptions. But that's a great job by Boise State. He picked up that 1st down, but didn't let him get too far.
Now, 1st and 10, they bring a tight end in motion. They're going to throw that direction. Caught by Chase Legend Jr., but as he's coming back to the ball, he actually gives ground. Picks up only 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, a bit of a strange play there. Looked like they had Junie Winter in the area as well. They did. And he was just too a little bit aggressive. They always tell receivers on hitch routes or those routes across the middle to come back to your quarterback to catch it. But there, he might have done a better job of just kind of tucking and rolling backward. Might have picked up 5 or 6 instead of only 2.
So now Ravenhill under center, I believe, for the first time tonight. As Florida State runs a pro offense, you'll see that a lot. And time to throw, taking his shot downfield. They're looking for that big play again, and there it is. It is another huge touchdown pass for Florida State. Ravenhill connects again, this one to Pablo Thompson for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, okay, I take it back, Nate. We are calling him Pablo touchdown. What a fantastic throw by Ravenhill, really loading up and making that throw. Offensive line giving him plenty of time to let the receivers go downfield. Burns the coverage again is Thompson. Great play, having a huge impact already. He's got to be close to 100 yards, and he already has 2 touchdowns. Great job by the Oregon transfer.
Well, Boise State has put together a couple of drives with big plays in them, but they haven't been able to cash in. Florida State, on the other hand, they've had 2 deep shots downfield to Thompson, and they found the end zone with him. Right now, that is the difference. Boise State's defense, especially the secondary, they're going to have to find a way to start corralling some of these receivers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're doing a great job, on this, kind of underneath passes. We haven't really seen a run game. Haven't seen Ronnie De La Roca utilized at all so far. So a bit surprised that we haven't seen more of that. He wasn't really utilized last week here, not as much either. But those big plays are really what's hurting Boise State. If they can limit those, even converting those touchdowns to 30-yard gains, they could be right in this.
So now Boise State looking for an answer. They're going to take a shot over the middle, complete, and 1st down yardage for Timothy Banger. Give him 16. Move the chains for Boise State.
Yeah, great job. 2nd reception on the night for Banger. Saw him on the very first play of the game. Great job using that little underneath route or that in route right there at about 10, 15 yards. Great play, picking up that 1st down, finding that spot where the linebackers had vacated into coverage. Great job by Boise State. Good play design.
So again, out of the shotgun and 4 receiver set, this time 3 to the bottom of the screen. Foreman finding nothing downfield, trying to take off, but cannot get away. Maverick Rivers this time, his first sack on the night.
First sack on the night, first sack on the season. Great job by Rivers. Utilized kind of like a QB spiral, saw him drop back into coverage and came flying up from his position. Great job as well by Reggie Williams, Harry Barnes, Jared Cook, all in the backfield on that play. Great team sack there.
And there you see the total yards. Boise State 115 to show for their 2 drives. So they are having some success moving the football, not so much on that first down play. Now they'll go to the ground with Henry, and he's fighting his way forward, picks up 6. So making up for the lost yardage on the sack, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, 3rd and 9, about 6.5 yards per average, or yards per carry there for Henry, doing a good job of when he gets the ball in his hands, moving downfield, moving the lineman. Great job.
The 3rd and 9, needing another big play, coming near side, complete. Nerese Davis got the foot down and moves the chains. It's a Boise State first down.
Great play by Foreman to find Davis there right on the sideline. Great route as well. Put it only there where the receiver could get it.
Now a 2-by-2 set. They're going to read option here. Foreman's got room again and finds his way forward for 7. So he's tucked it and run a couple of times on that designed run, and they've had some success with it.
Yeah, you're right. They absolutely have. You know, we saw the big rush earlier on that first drive where the offensive lineman got a key block. Key block there by Cortez Largent. Great job as well. Foreman utilizing those blocks again.
And now on 2nd and 3, they go underneath to Ron Johnson. He's able to turn it upfield, pick up 11, and once again, Boise State moves the sticks.
Yeah, moving the 6 is right. You know, they've gotten in this position twice already. No touchdowns, 2 field goals. Florida State has to have that bend, don't break mentality again, see if they can get another stop.
7 first downs early on for Boise State, and then they nearly turned it over there. DJ Hansen jumped the route but couldn't quite hang on to it.
No, you're right. He couldn't. It would have been a one-handed interception for DJ Hansen, the defensive captain for this Florida State team. Great job making a play there, intercepting that interrupting that pass.
Now counter play, and Henry folded up like a lawn chair. Big hit on the outside that time by Rick Davis, comes flying in and makes the play.
Yeah, the junior safety, Rick Davis, making his impact early. Had a big hit on the previous drive as well, and this time here. 3rd and 9, definitely maybe look to utilize the middle of the field as well here for Boise State.
2 high safeties. We'll see if they can get to the middle of the field. They're bringing some pressure. It forced a quick throw, but breaking one tackle was Ron Johnson, and then steps out of bounds. And once again, Boise State puts a drive together that's going to end in a field goal attempt.
Yeah, a little bit of a curious play calling there. You know, 3 drives in a row, 9 plays inside that 30-yard line, and they haven't really had any success utilizing a lot of those out routes on passes, a bit of the run game as well. They've been a bit unlucky. Florida State has made some good defensive plays and some sacks, but they've got to string some plays together to get inside that 10-yard line, especially inside the end zone.
Jonah Henry 3 of 3 early on, and that 3rd down play, good job by that Florida State defense, dialed up some pressure, forced that ball to come out, I think, a little bit quicker than Topher Foreman wanted to let it go. And there you see the offensive output, not very balanced for Florida State, but it hasn't had to be. They've had a lot of success throwing it downfield, especially to Pablo Thompson. 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter for him, and looking for more. They're taking another shot downfield, this time well covered. Noah Shake knocking that one down.
Yeah, Noah Shake doing a great job. I believe that was Thompson again. Shake got burned last time by Thompson. Right there was step for step with him. Made that play. Doing a great job of keeping Boise State in it.
Going to throw it again on 2nd and 10. Coming near side, complete. Blake Elder for 13, and Florida State has a first down.
First down, yeah, you're right. They're doing a good job moving down the field. 2nd reception on the night for Elder. Doing a great job of utilizing a lot of different receivers. We've seen Junie Winter, Chase Legend, Thompson, Elder. Haven't really seen a lot of Ronnie DeLocro. Again, I'm surprised, but, they haven't needed to right here when they're living by the big play.
Now 1st and 10, they're going to throw it again, and this one's going the other way, and watch out, a lot of room out in front of them, and finally hauled down just outside the red zone. Big play from Milo Pinesaw, and that could be the break Boise State's defense needed.
Yeah, you're right. I think it absolutely is. Doing it, they have to get points here. You can't trail points and only kick field goals. You have to get stops defensively, and that's exactly what Pinesaw did there. He might get a little bit of razzing from his teammates that an offensive lineman brought him down, but that's a good job of getting Boise State inside, this 30-yard line. They have to get a touchdown.
And they're going to go counter play with Henry, and he fights his way forward for 8. And that interception causes the first offensive drive this first quarter that doesn't end in points for either team.
That's a really good point. You're right there. DJ Hansen coming up, making the play, preventing the first down.
And now Boise State looking to take advantage of the turnover. Henry running it to the outside off the screenplay. And if he cuts that upfield, he's got a lot of room in front of him. He only gets a yard off of that reception, though. And that will be how the first quarter comes to an end. It's been explosive. It's 14-9, Florida State over Boise State. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports right here on Twitch. Back inside Doak Campbell Stadium, and it is 3rd down and short for Boise State, trying to take advantage of the interception, trying to take a lead back. And this is a little read option play, and Foreman gonna break a tackle and put it in the end zone. Boise State is back on top.
Boise State is back on top is right. That's a great job. They've had a lot of success with that read option, following their blockers, whether that be tight end or offensive lineman. They used it to success here again. Ron Johnson got just enough of DJ Hansen there to spring him for the touchdown, first touchdown of the game, and that is the first rushing touchdown of Topher Foreman's career. Congratulations to the freshman quarterback.
And King Maximus drops a bit in chat. We appreciate that. And Foreman does a great job breaking the tackle. Boise State back on top, 16-14. And now Ryan Ravenhill in this Florida State offense has had a lot of success, but the interception on the last drive, will that rattle the confidence? We saw Ravenhill throw 6 interceptions in week 1.
We did. You're right. Ravenhill really stepped up. The coaches have a lot of confidence in him, obviously, to let him throw those deep passes. 3 deep passes, all to Thompson. No interceptions so far. A lot of confidence in him that he is bringing to this play.
And under pressure, and he will go down. It was meet me in the middle there. Pierce Parker gets credit for the sack, but both defensive ends came crashing in.
Yeah, Alexander Wilson on one end, Pierce Parker on the other. That's a great job. Pierce Parker enters the game with 4 tackles for loss. That's tied for 5th in the CFSL. Great job getting another sack there, 2nd on the season for Parker.
Ravenhill fortunate to hold on to that one. It sets up a long 2nd down and 18 here. 2 tight ends set, 1 back in the backfield. They're going to throw it again. And this one's batted down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to cause a 3rd and 18 here for Florida State.
Yeah, I believe that was Alexander Wilson, called him out on the last drive, on the last play right there, getting the hand up and causing that deflection.
Now 3rd and long, receiver coming in motion. Boise State looks to be in man coverage. We'll see if this becomes a screenplay, and it will be. Hit as he lets it go. They got some blocking out in front, but too many white jerseys. De La Roca, first time we've called his name tonight, 4-yard reception, but not nearly enough.
Not nearly enough. You're right. 4th and 14. Florida State's just going to punt here. Boise State has had 2 fantastic defensive series in a row, getting that interception and stood tall here. Didn't give up the big play. They were looking downfield, but there was nowhere, good coverage, nowhere for Ravenhill to go. And they stood tall. Now they have great field position. Boise State looking to put more points on the board.
Demetrius Thomas, a 13-yard return, sets Boise State up on Florida State's side of the 50 at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Looking downfield, going to go across the middle, complete, and it's Riley Rury, 17 yards, down to about the 25-yard line, and it's a 1st down.
The Nebraska transfer getting involved here in this game. Topher Foreman doing a good job of getting a lot of his receivers involved. That's over the middle of the field. In that man coverage, they were able to break it, get some separation from Philip Morris there, the corner junior. Nice job there by Rury.
So now just sitting outside of the red zone, and we know the Boise State red zone woes here lately. Foreman trying to do it all himself again, and does a good job just to hold on to that football as Florida State was trying to rip it out. He gets 9 on that carry.
9 yards, doing a great job. A lot of success. We've seen it time and time again. Had the touchdown on the last drive, big plays before. They are loving that read option play, living and dying by it in the run game.
And here it goes again. He's got a lot of room on the other side, cuts it upfield, and down to the 6-yard line goes Topher Foreman. 9 carries, 67 yards.
Fantastic performance from Foreman through the air so far and on the ground. Harry Barnes, the defensive tackle, saving the touchdown.
Motion man, now they might set up a triple option look. They go to Henry up the middle, and he fights his way forward for 2 down near the 4-yard line.
Yeah, they're really utilizing the run play on this drive, and in the past couple drives, they've been having a lot of success with it. And so maybe let's see if they go to Henry again here. Maybe try and put him inside the end zone.
Mark him down at the 5. They do go to Henry on a draw play, and he nearly lost it. Good job from Florida State trying to rip that football out as these running backs are going down.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Scott Richley coming from behind, trying to make that play. I saw Maverick Rivers in there as well. Good job by Florida State. Ben, don't break defense here.
Gonna spread him out here on 3rd and goal. They will throw it. Foreman changes his mind, trying to get outside of the pocket. Can't do it, and he goes down once again. It's Harry Barnes, his 2nd sack on the night.
Saved a touchdown on the last 2 plays ago, and here gets the sack. I don't know if it's so much the Harry Barnes sack as his own offensive lineman. Maybe Topher Foreman needs to work a little bit more on his awareness, cut that inside. But right there, Harry Barnes in the right spot at the right time.
So Jonah Henry looking for his 4th field goal here of the first half. 6:20 to go here in the first half, and Boise State extends their lead 19-14 now. Boise State, Tony, they found success moving the football, but outside of the last drive where they were set up with great field position just outside the 20, they've been unable to put the ball in the end zone.
You're right. They have. Florida State's doing a great job of minimizing the yards that they can get on the ground, doing just enough to keep them short of that first down line, and having great coverage on the outside with those receivers, so Foreman has nowhere to go with the football.
And now a sack and a fumble. Florida State is able to scoop it up. The offensive lineman there to pick it up, but Ryan Ravenhill was dropped again. And again, it was the defensive ends both getting there about the same time.
Yeah, you're right. Doing a great job sandwiching the quarterback. I'm a bit surprised that that Boise State is getting so much pressure in the backfield. They're running a 3-3-5 defense. So, AD Dakota Jorgensen is doing a great job mixing up the pressure that the linebackers is bringing on blitzes before they can make a play.
And here a draw play, and again, it's Pierce Parker. These 2 defensive ends right now are wreaking havoc in the Florida State backfield.
Yeah, you're right. They absolutely are. And let's not, forget defensive tackle Mo Hart as well, right up front. If he doesn't take double teams, then those defensive ends can't get into the backfield. So great job by that 3-man front.
Now 5 wide here, taking a shot downfield, and CB Toro laying out full extension and makes the play, 33 yards and a first down.
Great seam route, maybe a little bit of a post route right there from CB Toro. First catch of the game, 33 yards there. Last week had 29 yards in the entire game, so already doubling his season average, or doubling his season total right there. Great job by CB Toro. Good find by Ravenhill over the middle.
And he laid out to make the catch, kept the drive going, and now draw play bouncing off of defenders. And there's Ronnie De La Roca getting a carry here, 2 yards, but still on the night has no positive rushing yards.
No, he doesn't. You're right. Bit surprised the number 8 overall recruit hasn't had more success. Boise State's linebackers doing a good job of keeping him contained.
Now they're going to bring a tight end in motion, set him up at the top of the screen, and a 2-step drop for Ravenhill, and that's not going to work when you've got Pierce Parker getting in clean.
Pierce Parker is just living in the backfield here. It looked like nobody even stepped up to block him. Just ran right past that left offensive guard, doing a great job tackling Ravenhill in the backfield with the sack. Maybe tackle him on that right shoulder. If this was a little bit more of a real life game, I suppose I would be concerned about his arm overall, his safety.
No, Ravenhill looking to throw, and he's hit again. Parker was in the backfield again, and as he let it go, and then Boise State nearly makes a diving interception. So Florida State fortunate to even get to punt this one away here.
Yeah, Noah Shake doing a great job flying across, full extension with the one-handed deflection. That looks good on the stat sheet. Not sure if it was really a catchable ball for the defender, but Shake wasn't going to have any of that.
Now here you see Foreman accounting for 181 yards of offense, doing it on the ground on that read option. Florida State's going to have to figure out a way to kind of slow that down as we get going here through the last bit of this first half and the rest of the ball game. And now it's a counter action. Henry's going to break one tackle, but a good job gang tackling from Florida State and limits him to 7.
Yeah, still averaging right around 5 yards per carry. Those numbers are nearing All-American numbers. You know, we saw Dwayne Salmons getting All-American last year, and Jordan Hammer as well, right around the 6 yard per carry average. But right there, Foreman not doing such a good job.
Oh, that time it was well read. Reggie Williams was there to make the play, and that's what you have to do with that read option. You've got to get someone to the running back, and you have to shed tackles or shed blocks and make plays in the backfield. Florida State able to do it there, sets up a 3rd down and 5. Boise State now bringing the receiver in motion, going to tighten up their receivers on the bottom of the screen. They're going to try and set up a screen pass to the wide side of the field, blocking out there, and Henry going to have to do some of it on his own. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, that is it. You're right. Apollo Richardson, the number 26 overall recruit, flying up there, causes just enough, damage, I suppose, on the hit to slow him down before the rest of the team can get there, and causes Boise State to punt it away. Florida State is living and dying by the big play. They've had Thompson deep on all the drives that they've scored on, but since then haven't really been able to utilize that deep play. Noah Shake especially doing a good job in coverage on Thompson down the field. Let's see if they can, string a couple good plays, utilize that, 15-yard out, maybe the slants across the middle of the field to drive down the field before they can get into the red zone and put another touchdown on the board.
Well, they're going to have to rely on some of these shorter passes because Pierce Parker and the rest of the defensive line has just been in the backfield with Ryan Ravenhill most of this first half, and now they're going to go to the running game and see if they can get that going. But De La Roca again dropped in the backfield. This time it's T. Boozer.
Yeah, T. Boozer, haven't called his name yet tonight, but doing a good job of getting in the backfield. Looks like these linebackers in this defensive front three are doing a good job trying to make Florida State one-dimensional and only making them rely on their passing yards.
And so far, they've done a good job at making them one-dimensional. But Florida State's hit some big plays. This one complete over the middle, breaking a tackle is Pablo Thompson. 12 yards total here, and he'll be just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Yeah, doing a good job on that route is Thompson with a bit of a delayed get off from the line of scrimmage, then using a little bit of an in route, maybe a bit of a hitch across the middle, just to find that soft spot in the zone coverage and almost picked up the first down. I would expect to see Ronnie De La Roca on this, but they haven't been using him a whole lot. So look for Ravenhill to pass here.
Well, play fake, and they're going to throw it underneath, complete, and breaking a tackle. There's De La Roca, so they fake it and then toss it out to De La Roca. He got the first down, and out near the 40-yard line, Florida State moving the chains.
Well, I suppose I called both of those things right. I would expect Ronnie De La Roca, and we did see him, but I did call a pass too, so that's one of the few times that one of us broadcasters get it right.
We avoid the jinx on at least that play, and this one complete underneath James Newton, his first catch of the ball game, 8 yards. Will set up a 2nd and 2.
Yeah, James Newton was all over the field last game, had 1 reception for 9 yards and had 5 tackles, and a tackle for loss and a sack. So Newton really doing it on both sides of the ball last week.
Henry Pate now has 5 tackles, and they're going to toss this one to Junie Winter underneath. So the tight end, his 2nd catch, good for 7 that time and a first down.
Florida State doing a great job utilizing those underneath passes that we talked about, on this drive to get them into better field position and deep into Boise State's territory.
A quick 2-step drop, and now trying to get out of there is Ravenhill, and he's able to get away from a few defenders and get it inside the 20. Picks up 8, and they'll call a timeout. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, a bit surprised by that, but the use of that timeout. Still lots of time. Don't really need it right here, but I guess they're content with really taking their time and making sure they get in the end zone.
Now trying to stretch things to the outside, De La Roca, and he is dropped in the backfield again. This time it's Jake Rice for a tackle for loss.
Nice job by Jake Rice. Had 3 tackles last week, 2 already in this game. De La Roca might have had more success if he cut that inside, but maybe saw all the white jerseys there and didn't like it, tried to bounce it outside for the bigger play.
3rd and 5. Florida State needs to pick this one up, and they will. Inside the 15, it's Pablo Thompson, 10 yards and a timeout here.
Great job by Florida State, utilizing those underneath routes, keeping in De La Roca and help blocking as well, giving Ravenhill enough time to find his receivers.
Now over the middle again, and this one is complete. Oh, no, it is incomplete. I was going to say, I thought I saw the ball pop loose. It does change to 2nd down and 10. That one thrown into some traffic.
Yeah, a lot of traffic there. Looked to be at least 3 white jerseys there in defense. Bit of a risky throw, but got away with it.
And now going to go over the middle once again, looking for the end zone, and can't quite get there. In fact, he's short of the first down marker as well. Blake Elder gets 9. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Great job, team defense, swarming to the football. We're seeing a little bit of that bend, don't break mentality from Boise here. You know, they haven't given up the big play on this drive. They're doing just enough to keep Florida State short of the chains here. We'll see if they can do it again.
5 of 7 on 3rd down is Florida State. They're going to go right up the middle with De La Roca, and he finally finds some room, and he finds the end zone, and now it's Florida State back on top.
Yeah, a bit of a back-and-forth game. You're absolutely right. We saw the comeback by Boise and now Florida State. A fantastic drive. Haven't seen them yet so far this game, utilizing a drive all the way down the field, methodical, and, you know, I guess it was a good usage of those timeouts, getting the play calls that they wanted because they got 7 points out of it.
1:13 to go, first half, 21-19 your score. And while we got a second, I'd like to shout out some of you guys in chat: Swaggy, Simurage, Squiddy, Aaron, Ike, Resonator, Jonesy, Grin, I see AMK, Pete Close, Al Shiesty, Bubba Brooks, Jay Gates, and everybody else that's here. We appreciate you joining us, and we've got ourselves a great one here to end our Monday night. Florida State just retook the lead. Now Boise State trying to get their offense rolling again. They have made some big plays. Most of them have come on the ground with the legs of Topher Foreman. We'll see what they've got here with just over a minute left. Complete to Cortez Largent, 5 yards and out of bounds.
Yeah, nice job, Cortez Largent. Haven't had that's the first reception on the night for Largent. Hasn't had the biggest game yet. Had 136 yards last week. That was 10th in the CFSL last week. Not as utilized here already so far. Florida State doing a good job of keeping him covered.
And this one to the sideline. Again, is Largent. Maybe the same play there. This one good for 8 and moving the chains.
Yeah, moving the chains, doing a good job getting out of bounds, keeping those timeouts, and just finding spots that Florida State isn't in coverage.
Remember, Florida State will get the football to start the second half, so Boise State would love to put some points on the board here, but that's not going to get it done. DJ Hansen had his hands on another one. That was a dangerous throw.
Yeah, very dangerous is right. Lucky for Topher Foreman to see another play after that one, throwing that into double coverage.
Now 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top of the screen. Pressure coming, and it's Maverick Rivers, I believe, getting home, and a well-timed sack. And Florida State defense comes up with a big play. It'll be 3rd and 17 now.
Yeah, 3rd and 17 is right. Florida State doing a good job making sure that Boise State can't go down the field and score. Like you said, Nate, Florida State will get the ball at half. So, doing a good job driving down the field on that last drive, getting points, and defense standing tall, forcing the 3rd and very long.
Well, 2-by-2 set now. Boise State looking to pick up a 3rd and long here, taking a shot, and has a man complete. And it is going to be a big play for a first down. It's Riley Rury, his 2nd catch of the ball game. This one moving the chains.
2nd catch is right. Having more yards tonight, 38, than he did last week already in the first half. Topher Foreman doing a great job spreading the ball out and, maybe picking apart this Florida State defense a little bit more than they were able to do last week against Kentucky. We'll see if they can get down the field in these next 35 seconds to put points on the board.
Very well-balanced play calling here early on for Boise State. And this one thrown over the middle. It's Rory again, timeout after the first down pickup.
Yeah, timeout is right. Making sure they get the play calls that they want, rushing to the line of scrimmage, maybe trying to catch Florida State off guard.
30 seconds to go, 2 timeouts, so plenty of time and already nearing field goal range. Foreman has some time and dumps it underneath, complete. Looking for the sideline is Rory, not going to get there, so they'll use their 2nd timeout.
Yeah, I think that was a smart timeout call. Don't think he got out of bounds. Thought the knee came down inbounds. Good job by Florida State making him burn it.
So 2-by-2, they're going to go little tunnel screen complete inside the 25, down near the 20. Nerese Davis, 10 more yards and a first down. Boise State's going to hurry this up to the line. Back to that 2-by-2 look. Taking a couple of seconds to get that snap off, and then this one thrown away. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's a smart throwaway there. Didn't find a man that he liked right away. Nobody really beat their man in man coverage right there on that play. Just throw it away, let you take your time on this one.
15 seconds to go, first half. Boise State taking a shot to the end zone. Complete to Rory and into the corner of the end zone for a Boise State touchdown, and the Broncos retake the lead.
Yeah, I believe that's Riley Rui's first touchdown of his career, receiving-wise. Fantastic job by Rui. Did a great throw by Foreman. Found just enough of the pylon for them to give it to him. Bit surprised that they're not going to review this, but that's a dime of a throw by the freshman quarterback there. And fantastic job by Boise State marching down the field, putting points on the board. And I'd be very surprised if we see Florida State take any shots. Probably just going to knee this one down, get the ball at the half, and let them regroup at halftime here.
And Michael Rory, the Boise State DC, can confirm that is Rory's first receiving touchdown as a receiver. And now we see Florida State getting the ball at the 25-yard line with 11 seconds to go. And you said they'd probably take a knee, but they've had some success going over the top. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went for Pablo Thompson maybe one time here to see if they can maybe sneak in a field goal attempt, if not more, as we head towards the locker room, although they do get the ball to start the second half. So we'll see what they decide to do. They're going to bring out a heavy set, one back in the backfield. Now 2, and they will just run it here, trying to run out this clock with De La Roca. He does not even get back to the line of scrimmage. T. Boozer, his second tackle for loss, and well, now they're going to go to the replay here.
Yeah, not really sure what they're looking at here. It looks like they are just going to be content to let the clock roll out here. As we could see in chat, Grin wanted the deep shot, so did Squiddy, but TD Sav making a good call probably to triple team Pablo Thompson on that one, so he couldn't get down the field.
Well, that's going to do it for half number 1, and this is the game that we expected from these two teams. It's 26-21, Boise State on top, and Tony, there was some fireworks, there was some good defense. Tell us what you saw here in the first half.
Yeah, great defense is right. I think that's kind of the mentality of this game. Boise State's last game or game last week, they only scored 20 points and gave up 22. They've given up around that much, so far this time. But I still think it's a bit of a defensive battle. We've seen Boise State's defense doing a good job of getting into the backfield, minimizing the big plays. We've seen Florida State defense doing a good job, maybe a little bit more recently having some struggle containing Boise State, but they're both teams are doing a good job of moving the ball down the field on consistent drives, as well as getting those big plays that they've needed.
And we've seen Mike in chat dropping 75 bits. Shiesty dropped 100. So again, we appreciate that. Thank you guys. And there you see the stats. It's been all the passing attack for Florida State. They have not gotten on track with the running game. Boise State, while they are very pass heavy, we have seen the running attack kind of work in their favor. That read option has really hurt this Florida State defense in the first half.
Yeah, it has. You're absolutely right. I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen maybe more of the Florida State pass rush affecting Topher Foreman. But then again, they've been doing a great job of utilizing that read option to create mismatches on the defensive front. And Florida State's, has to adjust to that this half. Otherwise, Foreman could have over 100 yards rushing at this rate if they don't tighten that up.
And Mike, I only saw 3 sets of 25 come through. I know I can't count, but my math was on point there. If I missed the 4th one, I apologize. It happens. I stopped seeing things at some points during the night. Gates, we appreciate the bits that you've also cheered in chat. And Shiesty, that is 45, I believe my counter says. Trying to show off my reading skills so Mike will get off my back a little bit. And Florida State looking to get downfield and retake the lead. And that's a decent start. Junie Winter, 8 yards on first down. And now Mike is crying because I've hurt his feelings, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Never a good idea to make Mike upset here. But I'm going to leave that one totally on your shoulders and not get involved at all here.
And trying to take off and find some room is Ravenhill, and he is hit hard. He's upended and thrown into the turf. Big play there by Henry Pate III, but it is a first down.
Good hit is exactly right. Lucky for Ravenhill to have on that kind of, lower rib cage kidney protector that we see a lot of quarterbacks wear nowadays.
And now going back to the ground game with Ronnie De La Rocha, and 3 yards there, and he is finally at break even.
Yeah, he is. Did not have a lot of success early, but finally able to break out of the negatives, right? And good to see Clutch in chat as well with the fumble that call. I'm a bit surprised Ravenhill didn't on that play a couple plays ago.
And now Demetrius Thomas making a play in the backfield, and now Ronnie De La Roca back into the negative average there. Just Boise State run defense has been all over it tonight.
They have. You're right. That 3-3-5, or that the front six is doing an excellent job of containing De La Roca and Ravenhill from scrambling.
Now looking to get after him again, and they will get to him and strip him. And Boise State's defense is going to come up with the second turnover of the night, and that was a huge play that time by the Bronco defensive line.
Huge play is right. I believe that's Pierce Parker going to get credited with the forced fumble, and Mo Hart with the fumble recovery. Fantastic job. Clutch was just a little bit too early, maybe 2 or 3 plays too early there. Ravenhill has taken a beating this drive, and that defensive front again creating a bit of a sandwich opportunity of Ravenhill, and he coughs that one up. Great field position for Boise. Florida State is doing a good job of not giving up a touchdown every time they're in good field position. They need to hold them to a field goal here.
And they're going to start with the screenplay, and Henry gets hit hard, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but Maverick Rivers was right there to make sure he didn't get any further.
Rivers is all over the field defensively, doing a good job of, kind of living in that QB spy role in the pass game and keeping Henry from getting outside, contain, and in pass coverage as well. So Rivers is flying all over the field.
And Mike still dropping bits in chat. I've lost count, Mike. You win. And Boise State looking to make a big play here. They're going to go back to the ground game with Henry, shrugging off one, breaking off of another tackle, fighting forward for a pickup of 9. It'll set up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, just called out Rivers last time for doing a good job containing Henry. Couldn't do it there, it looks like. As we see Ruri in chat, Rivers versus Henry is right. Just got outside contained. Nice job of following his blockers to pick up 9 there.
And no blockers on that 3rd down carry, as there was 3 Florida State defenders in the backfield. Rick Davis gets credit for the tackle.
Yeah, swarming defense by Florida State. You can hear the Seminole chants in the background here on the 4th down play, trying to make Jonah Henry miss this field goal.
So Henry has already put through 4 field goals, I believe, tonight. Looking for a 5th one here. Up and good. 29-21. Boise State extending their lead. 6:38 here to go in the 3rd quarter. And Florida State turned it over on their last drive. We saw them after the interception go downfield, put points on the board after their last turnover. Can they do it again?
Florida State's definitely hoping so. They're hoping that they can minimize those turnovers. Boise State has been very opportunistic these past few drives. The last couple drives of the first half, and here early this time. They've got to do a better job of blocking that front 3 of Boise State. That's where all the turnovers are coming from, the forced fumble and, the pressure causing the interception. If they can keep De La Roca and maybe a fullback in to block that front, then I think that's where Florida State is having their success.
Well, that time a quick throw as Chase Legend Jr. runs a nice little slant route, gets to the middle, and picks up 10 and a 1st down.
Yeah, we see Semi-Rage in chat, pokes the offense to do something. I think that's kind of what all of Florida State is hoping here that they do in order to march down the field and maybe, get this within 1 possession or even tie the game.
Now another quick drop and again hit as he throws. This time the defensive line pushing the offensive line back into Ravenhill as he lets that ball go.
Yeah, just an incredible performance by this front 3. And, they're bringing a linebacker on about 50% of the plays, it looks like. Right here, they're not going to, though.
Now, that time they dropped 8 back in coverage, confused Ravenhill a little bit, and he throws it away. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Fantastic coverage down the field. Boise State has really made a great adjustment, about midway through that 2nd quarter, and here doing a fantastic job, again, making Ravenhill very uncomfortable.
Screen pass. Did they get enough blocking out in front? Breaking 1 tackle and picking up the 1st down is De La Roca, 13 yards out near the 45, and Florida State does a good job converting on 3rd down there.
Yes, they do. You're absolutely right. As Mike says in chat, 7 is the field goal record set in season 13 for a game. We're definitely on field goals made watch, a record watch here by Boise State.
And now they're going to go with a run to De La Roca, and that hasn't worked all night. This one, no different. Back to the line of scrimmage, and Damon Battle with the tackle.
Yeah, Damon Battle doing a great job. 3 tackles tonight, had 3 last week as well, so doubling the total on the season. The Boise State defense is flying around, making plays everywhere.
This one complete over the middle. Chase Legend Jr. but again, coming back to the ball and only picking up 3 yards on that one.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Nate. I was just about to say that. We saw that in the first half as well, only picked up 2 on a very similar route. If he just sits down and falls backward, that's a gain of 6 or 7.
And Mike gifting subs to the community. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. And now Florida State taking a shot downfield. And Pablo Thompson one more time. This one good for 50. It'll be first and goal.
Yeah, we've seen that Pablo Thompson versus Noah Shake battle all night tonight. Pablo Thompson has been winning it, 2 touchdowns and a big play here. Shake had 1 deflection last time, but this time saves the touchdown. If Boise State can utilize the bend don't break mentality, force Florida State to push, punch this one into the end zone, they might get away with only giving up a field goal. That's a touchdown saving play by Shake.
They're going to throw for it here on first and goal. And nobody open. Again, Boise State dropped 7 into coverage there. And that one thrown away out of the back of the end zone, second and goal.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Second and goal here, it's going to come to fruition. It looks like this is definitely a running formation.
Right up the middle, De La Roca can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Once again, that front 5 of Boise State. T. Boozer this time in the backfield.
Yeah, T. Boozer doing a great job of beating that block. A.J. Dudney, the tight end, tried to get the block on him, but he was having none of it. Spreading the offense out here. Looks like they might have an opportunity on that slot receiver on the left.
And they're going to throw for it. Pressure coming and got to him again. A great job by Boise State. This time it's Alexander Wilson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a mistake in play calling. The safety on the inside slot receiver on the left-hand side was back a good 10 yards from him. If that slot receiver just runs out and maybe sits down right at the goal line, they can call in or they can just fall in for a touchdown. But unfortunately, they have to settle for the field goal. That's definitely a mistake on the receiver's route. And, Ravenhill for not seeing that one in audible.
Boise State's defense does exactly what you called for, Tony. They've been after that long pass play, but they did not break. And it's that front 3, the defensive line, followed by those linebackers right behind them that they take up some room for, has really stepped up, made a bunch of big plays, including that 3 sets of downs right there. And here you see some of the big plays Florida State's been able to make. Boise State's made a few of their own. And this game with 4:21 to go, third quarter, Tony, it's been everything that we expected it to be and more.
It has been. You're absolutely right, Nate. It's been all over the place. Great defensive plays from, cornerbacks and receiver and linebackers and the defensive fronts. Great passing opportunities by Ravenhill and Foreman. Lots of rushing as well. This has been exactly what we have been looking for. And a new follower as well, Lion United 07. Welcome to the CFSL. This is a great community. Thank you for finding us, and thank you for getting involved as well. Welcome to the stream.
You joined us for a great one here tonight. Boise State and Florida State both looking to avoid 0-2 starts this season, and Topher Foreman starting this drive out with a gain of only 1.
Yeah, Reggie Williams with the tackle for loss there. I don't know if it was just my eyes, but it kind of looked like he tackled him through an offensive lineman. What a fantastic individual effort there.
And this one over the middle, and Rivers is there, but Timothy Banger is able to hold on to it and sets up a 3rd and short for Boise State.
Yeah, Timothy Banger only had 17 receiving yards last week, has 27 here tonight. Everybody's getting more involved in the passing game here for Boise State.
And bubble screen, room to work on the outside, across midfield, inside the 45. And Cortez Largent, his biggest play of the night. We saw him pick up a lot of yards last week, finally getting one downfield here, and it's a first down.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Looked like DJ Hansen taking a poor angle on that play. Nerese Davis blocking 2 people. Nice job by Cortez Largent to utilize the blocks of his other wide receivers to spring that for a big gain. Boise State marching down the field.
And so 1st and 10, Boise State looking to put some points on the board here again. Complete a good job in the pocket from Topher Foreman, and he finds Riley Rury. 6 catches, 80 yards for Rury.
Yeah, big game for Rury so far, much bigger than last week. Nice job with the jump pass by Foreman, utilizing the block by Josiah Henry, that chop block to let him throw that ball.
Another tackle for Rivers, and this one floated near side complete, and guess who? Riley Rury again, 17 yards this time and up near the 100-yard mark for Riley Rury.
Fantastic out route there at about 15 yards. Great play. Chris Bryant in coverage there, the Milwaukee, Wisconsin native, just couldn't keep close enough to Ruri. Ruri's really lighting it up this game and especially this drive.
And so now sitting nose of the football just inside the 20-yard line. So Boise State into the red zone where they have struggled. But looking to come through here, taking a shot and not going to force that one into any coverage. It looks like he might have hit the upright with that one. That doesn't count for any points, but it'll be second down 10.
I believe in Gaelic football, if the ball goes through the uprights, it's 1 point, but that doesn't work here in American football.
Well, we learn something new every day. C.J. Jones, 5 yards on that completion. It'll be third down and 5. Ball sitting right on the 15. Boise State would love to convert here. Foreman has time in the pocket, complete, and Ron Johnson had the end zone in front of him, and that was it, but couldn't keep his feet in bounds.
Yeah, that is a bit disappointing. It definitely had room, maybe even to get inside the 5-yard line or a touchdown. As we could see, XYR5, first-time chatter, thank you very much. Wow, this national championship was boring. That is true, but this game certainly is not boring. And Redeemer broadcaster, Mike, Tony, who's the best broadcaster in the CFSL? I would have to defer to the voting public, it seems like. They think that Nate and Cole are co-broadcasters of the year back-to-back. That's an impressive accomplishment. I don't know how else you could answer that response.
Oh, well, Tony taking maybe the most PC way to answer that question ever. You'll find that doesn't always work in the CFSL, Tony. You're going to have to, as Mike says, that's a cop-out. You're going to have to split some hairs. You're going to have to ruffle some feathers. It's okay. We know the answer is probably Cole. But as sad as that makes me to say, the answer is probably Cole. And this one swung out, little bubble screen. Pablo Thompson, he's done a little bit better running downfield tonight. That one, a loss of 1. It'll be third down and 4.
Yeah, that's a great job by this Boise State defense flying to the football. And, Nate, you're exactly right. That was definitely a PC answer. Mike called it out on the podcast earlier today. I'm definitely considering a run for political office. If I had to pick one, I haven't been in the league long enough to hear a lot of greats. I think I've only ever heard Grin call one. I haven't heard Vinny Trill. I think I've only heard Matt call one game. But from the games that I've listened to, I think there may be a little bit of bias here as well. But I think Ryan's a fantastic color commentator.
And first down play here for Florida State. This one over the middle, complete pickup of 8 for Pablo Thompson. Mike says Cole's the best broadcaster who looks like he's 12. Yeah, I think we can all agree with that. And Tony, I would agree with you. Ryan, a fantastic color commentator. I love working with him as well. A lot of great broadcasters in this group. And Pablo Thompson hangs on to that one, but boy, did he pay for it. Up to 228 yards. That one good for a first down.
An unbelievable performance by Thompson tonight, but Demetrius Thomas made him pay for that catch there.
And now on first down, complete to the outside, CB Toro for 4. And Ginger Matt says he's coming for my title when he makes his return to the booth. But he's got to make his way out of his parents' basement first. And so now second down and 6 coming up for Florida State. Faking the handoff here. And then again, Ravenhill goes down as Pierce Parker for the 4th time tonight.
Yes, Pierce Parker is just doing a fantastic job. Double teaming him. The running back, Ronnie De La Roca, couldn't get over in time. And as we can see, Matt in chat says it's coming, I promise. We know you're trying to move to New York. You say it every week, but, I've yet to see it actually happen. You're still got to get out of the parents' basement here.
Wow, and Mike said I was coming for blood. That was harsh. Welcome to the league, Tony. And welcome to the league, Brian Ravenhill. He's sacked and fumbles again. A big play one more time from this Boise State defensive line. And which one of the defensive end got him that time? It was Wilson. Another strip sack for this Boise State defense.
Yeah, that's the second one tonight. One for Pierce Parker, one for Wilson there. And T. Boozer being in the right place at the right time to make that fumble recovery. Fantastic job, Mike. Thank you. I'm learning the stripes here. I'm going to try and be as politician as possible unless it's called for. And my hand was forced there.
So now Boise State looking to convert off a turnover again, and this one, Josiah Henry right up the gut. That is going to be a great way for Boise State to end this third quarter, a gain of 11 and a first down. 32-24. Boise State is coming to Tallahassee and heading into the fourth with a lead. You're watching the CFSL presented by PX1 Sports right here on Twitch. As the fours go up in chat and we come back inside Doak Campbell Stadium for this exciting fourth quarter. Boise State looking to add to an 8-point lead. Time in the pocket for Foreman, open receiver, and he led him just too far.
Yeah, just too far is right. That's a great throw. I don't know if that's on Foreman, though. That's definitely a ball that could be caught inbounds. That's definitely on the receiver. Didn't quite catch the number there, though.
Now second down and 10, and right down the seam. No mistakes this time. Riley Rory, 15 yards, his second touchdown of the night, and Boise State will extend that lead.
Riley Rory having obviously a career game, second ever game as a wide receiver, but this is definitely one to go in the record books of Boise State history. Fantastic performance overall. Topher Foreman, the freshman quarterback, standing tall in the pocket. I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen more of, Harry Barnes, Reggie Williams. Jared Cook really hasn't been involved at all this season or in this game. The pass rush just hasn't quite been there for Florida State to affect Topher Foreman like that Boise State pass rush has been on Ryan Ravenhill. And at this point in the game, that's the difference.
Yeah, Ryan Ravenhill has not had any time to set up and throw. Well, I won't say hasn't had any time. He's made some big plays downfield, but for the most part, Boise State's front three, as you said, they run this 3-3-5 defense, so that those three defensive linemen causing a lot of problems. Now they're going to go to the ground game, and that's been shut down tonight, but this is a good run from De La Roca. He's able to bounce it outside, break some tackles, and get 7.
Yeah, Nate, we're on the same wavelength. I was just about to say that Boise State's doing a great job of making Florida State one-dimensional. Just trying to make Ravenhill beat them with his arm, and so far he hasn't really, only scoring 24 points, but that's a good run there.
Well, this is a good throw on a quick slant. CB Toro catches it and does a little bit of work on his own, picks up 17, and again moving the sticks for Florida State.
Yeah, gets over the 50-yard mark is CB Toro, the senior wide receiver. Hasn't been utilized a lot in the past few seasons, obviously, with the likes of Aaron Ike and Vernon Mills and tight end Matt Scally, but, really coming into himself in this new system and this new Florida State team.
And so 2 tight ends now for Florida State, bringing 1 in motion. De La Roca, the lone setback. Quick throw, and what a catch. Spinning around Blake Elder, and I believe that might have been a one-hander as well, as he turns around to make that catch and saves Ravenhill. Picks up a big first down again for Florida State.
Yeah, one-handed behind him as well. That's an incredibly athletic play. Great job. And that's Milo Pinesaw with the tackle as well. But that's an individual effort, or fantastic individual effort there by Blake Elder, keeping Florida State in this as they march down the field.
Now 2-by-2 set. And they're going to throw it again. They're going to swing this one out to De La Roca out of the backfield, breaking a couple of tackles, fighting hard for those 5 yards, setting up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Florida State so far this game is doing a good job of on those out routes, those swinging routes, to make sure that they give their receivers enough time to cut upfield. Boise State has not been doing that so far.
And now they're going to go read option with Ravenhill. He finds 7 yards and a first down, and this is a good Florida State drive looking for an answer.
Yeah, Ravenhill doing a good job of cutting that upfield. His offensive tackle made a good cut block on a linebacker that let that spring for a first down.
So now 1st and 10 over the middle, sitting down and picking up good yardage is Blake Elder, and then he was sat down hard by T. Boozer, but it's good for nearly a first down, 2nd down and inches coming up.
Florida State this drive is doing a good job of utilizing the middle of the field, right around that 8 to 12 yard mark, especially in zone coverage, obviously. But the linebackers are vacating out into the flats, and the middle of the field is opening up, and Florida State, Ryan Ravenhill is finding that every single time.
And they're finally running quick enough routes. Ravenhill's getting the ball out of his hands. And so far on this drive, the pressure hasn't been a problem. And now a shot to the end zone. And Pablo Thompson comes down with it. I'm not even sure how that ball got to him, but we've got ourselves a ball game with 6:48 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yes, we do. Look like he might have even strained the muscle on that one. Slow to get up, but that's in quadruple coverage as they go for 2 here.
Going for 2, trying to make this a 7-point ball game, and they will. Blake Elder catches it in the flat and is able to sneak his way into the corner of the end zone. So that drive good for 8 points, and Florida State has cut this to a 7-point ball game.
Yes, they have. This is a fantastic ball game, Nate. And, again, we see that Florida State, that out route that left Blake Elder just enough time to cut upfield. Boise State, at least a couple times this game, has thrown it too far to where the receiver couldn't make a play. And Florida State is really capitalizing on that, utilizing the flats to perfection. And again, I can't believe that pass was caught by Pablo Thompson. I really don't know how he caught it. Boise State has to settle down and drive down the field and put points on the board. Doesn't have to be a touchdown, but they have to get points.
Well, it's only Monday night, but I would say that is a top play of the week nominee for sure, maybe number 1. We'll have to see how the rest of the week goes. As Maverick Rivers, another tackle, his 8th, as Henry able to pick up 3. This might be Josiah Henry time.
Yeah, I think it is. You're right. Florida State has not contained Josiah Henry, or maybe even the read option with Foreman. They haven't done a great job of containing either of them.
Bringing some heat on this play and couldn't quite get home, and that leaves receivers open downfield, and that's Nerese Davis having a huge game. 5 catches, 97 yards, and that one good for a first down.
97 yards, exactly. Huge game is right. 75 last week, 97 here. Needs 3 more to cross the 100 barrier. I definitely think, if we're not going to see a lot of Josiah Henry, if they're going to be content to pass the ball, I think we're going to see a lot of the offensive captain, Nerese Davis, on this drive.
There they go, counter with Henry, and he's able to fight forward, break a couple tackles, and even with contact, falls forward, picks up 10, and it's another first down.
Yeah, falling forward is exactly what we've seen. We've seen Florida State receivers kind of come back to the ball, but right there utilizing, the broken tackles to fall forward.
And here's that quarterback option, a little stutter step from Foreman. Might have paid a little bit for that one. He just needs to get it right upfield. He kind of dances around a little bit too much, and Rick Davis makes him pay.
Yeah, Rick Davis does make him pay. Exactly. Great hit there. I might want to, check Foreman in concussion protocol, because that's a heck of a hit.
As Frank says, run, dummy. I think you're allowed to say that one is your guy, but usually not called for, but we'll let that one slide. And Foreman trying to run again, this time brought down at the line of scrimmage. Scott Reichel with the tackle.
Yeah, exactly. This defensive front is doing just enough, it seems, late to keep Boise State in third and middle to long.
A big third down here, and Boise State's going to convert. Needed 6, got 31, and it's Nerese Davis, another huge play, and it's 1st and goal Broncos.
Yeah, that easily crosses the 100 mark there. A bit of a broken coverage. They ran, seemed like either 4 verts or 2 verts on that side. The safety DJ Hansen had to stick with the slot receiver running up the seam and let Nerese Davis get wide open down the sideline.
So now Henry up the middle on 1st and goal, gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. This Florida State defense needs a big stop, and there's a decent start.
Yeah, decent start is right. Bend, don't break is what we've been saying all game. Boise State's been doing a good job of finding the red zone here, but early on they struggled. Florida State needs to summon some of that energy.
They were bringing pressure off the corner. Couldn't quite get home. C.J. Jones picks up 5. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5.
There it is again, that out route that doesn't leave the receiver enough time to cut upfield. I know I keep calling it out, but, it seems to come true right at this moment.
The 3rd and goal, big play here, and a little option play with the slot receiver, and Foreman was able to get it out. They're actually going to call that a pass as he flipped it forward. That was Timothy Banger that's going to get credit for a reception as well, but he was knocked down hard. It'll be 4th and goal.
Timothy Banger got banged on that play. Well, maybe I take that one back, but Rick Davis doing a great job of flying up and forcing the field goal. They got the points they needed, but plenty of time for Florida State to march down the field and score, and then maybe get an onside kick or a quick defensive stop before they go down the field again.
And so Florida State, and yeah, now you've got Chat's attention over there with that one. So Florida State down 10, 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this one. we've seen the big play capability for Florida State. They don't necessarily have to get it all in one or two plays here, but their last drive was a time-consuming drive. You can't have that this time around.
No, you absolutely cannot. You're right. You have to score it quickly. Maybe utilize exactly. Pablo touchdown Thomas again. Like they said, Devin, Rury, I'm very sorry. I as soon as I said it, I regretted it. But then maybe again, I didn't regret it. But fantastic job by, looks like Jonah Henry ties the CFSL record for 7 field goals in a game. That's fantastic individual effort by the kicker and a great play to Pablo Thompson there.
And getting it back to Thompson, as you mentioned. And so Florida State starting this drive with the big play. That's exactly what they need as we get close to 4 minutes to go in this one, down 10. So a two-score game. You don't necessarily need the touchdown on this drive, but you're going to have to get some points here. So now 1st and 10, ball on the 46-yard line. 2-by-2 set, and Ravenhill in the shotgun. Looking for something downfield and cannot get it off again. This defensive line, Alexander Wilson, his 4th sack on the night.
Yeah, fantastic play by Alexander Wilson. I know I've seen Blondie in chat tonight. That's I know that's her character doing a fantastic job of getting into the backfield, living in the backfield, and making Ravenhill pay tonight with that play. And if Pablo Thompson gets over 300 yards receiving tonight, we might have to call him the GOAT, as Pablo Sanchez must be a namesake.
And this one to Blake Elder. 3rd down and 15 now. This is huge. It is 4-down territory for Florida State. So you only need about half of this to give yourself a manageable 4th down attempt. But Boise State, they got all 3 of their safeties back deep, sitting near the 1st down marker. Coming with a corner blitz, and that one was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Great play from Boise State.
Yeah, I believe that's Demetrius Thomas coming on a corner blitz. Whoa, I'm shocked that they're punting here. I really do not agree with this call. I definitely thought this was 4-down territory too, Nate. But, maybe they thought they couldn't get down the field fast enough to score. If they can force a turnover, they can get the ball back faster and better field position.
I think maybe if they picked up some yardage, you could make the argument that they would go for it on 4th down. But that swat there by the corner right at the last second made it to where they didn't feel comfortable giving up potential field position. So now it is up to the Florida State defense. They've got to make a play here. They have 3 timeouts, 3 minutes, 8 seconds to go in this ball game. But down 10, you called it a turnover here. It would be their first force of the game, and it would be at the biggest time in the ball game. But Boise State, they are going to run the football here, and it's a big play. Topher Foreman across midfield, 1st down, Boise State.
Yeah, Topher Foreman at 71 rush yards, doing a fantastic job. Florida State has been unable to solve that read option. And, a little bit ago, our 14R Davis, one could say Ryan Ravenhill is getting banged in the backfield. You are correct.
All right. And so Josiah Henry can't find the corner there. DJ Hansen, his 9th tackle of the night. So Henry, a little bit better stats than Ronnie De La Roca tonight. He's up near 70 here on the night.
Yeah, just a fantastic job of mixing up the rush and the pass for Boise State. Really milking the clock here. It looks like they might put it out of reach here.
And quarterback Reed Foreman does cut it upfield, staying away from the sideline, but didn't stay away from Rick Davis, and maybe he should have. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Rick Davis has been laying the Thunder down all night, doing a fantastic job of making running backs and quarterbacks regret coming near him.
And then Josiah Henry right up the middle, 1st down, and that should probably wrap this one up. Florida State uses their 2nd timeout. So 1st and 10 at the 35, and here goes Henry again inside the 20, still breaking tackles. And Florida State uses their last timeout. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 15.
Yeah, we can see why Josiah Henry was such a highly touted recruit coming out of high school, just really taking over this game.
And this one goes nowhere as he is dropped in the backfield. Scott Richley, his 5th tackle, 2nd tackle for loss. Nothing but losing yards there, losing some stats for Josiah Henry. He's now at 95 yards for the night.
Yeah, losing some stats, but winning some clock, if you will, in the time management sector of this ballgame.
And there goes Henry again, looking to get back to that 100-yard mark. Has to break a couple of tackles. Not quite going to get there. It'll be 3rd down and 12, now up to 98 yards.
And Rick Davis, again, flying up from that safety position, doing a great job of containing, Foreman and Henry from getting outside on that left-hand side of the defense.
And there will be no 100 yards tonight, as this is David Williamson on the last carry of the ball game. So 1 yard or 4 yards on that one, but really not the important thing. Florida State at home goes down to Boise State 42-32. Tony, it was a great game. It was everything we expected. So what were your thoughts on this game, and help me start wrapping this thing up?
I thought it was a fantastic ball game, Nate. Both defenses really came to play, especially in that, that middle half, second and third quarters. They both did a great job. Both defenses kind of solved the opposing team, but Boise State was able to learn and come out of halftime with a great offensive strategy and contain Pablo Thompson down the field. I'm sure this is not the last we will see of Florida State. I'm sure they'll make a deep postseason run. And Boise State, this is the win they needed to go 1-1 on the season.
And with that, I'd like to say thank you to our associate producer, Austin Crow, and our executive producer, Mike Peters, and of course, my broadcast partner for tonight's action, Tony Papel. And on behalf of our entire broadcast crew, I'm Nate Murphy, and you've been watching the CFSL presented by PX1 Sports right here on Twitch. That'll do it for tonight. But we are less than 24 hours from kickoff again. Come back at 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow as Alabama takes on Michigan, and at 9 p.m. Central, the Hurricanes blow into Texas to face the Longhorns. Good night, everyone.